listen, I just showed you the future of firepower. We talked about the $3,100 Benelli SBE-3AI and the material revolution of the Beretta AX800. But here is the ugly truth that nobody at SHOT Show wants to admit. You can spend $2,500 on a chemically inert polymer chassis, and you can buy all the advanced impact barrel technology in the world. But if the $3 shell inside that chamber is garbage, your high-tech wonder gun is just a very expensive single shot. We analyze the machines. Now, we have to talk about the fuel. I have tested the most popular loads on the market against the freezing cold, the mud, and the physics of semi-auto cycling. Most of them failed, but 5 of them refused to quit. Let's get into it. Keeping things interesting at number 5, we have the brand that single-handedly saved the sub-gauge revolution. Boss Shotshells. Look, everyone is obsessed with their direct-to-consumer marketing, but nobody talks about the mechanics. Here is the reality. If you run a 20-gauge or a 28-gauge Inertia gun, like that Benelli M2 we talked about, it needs kinetic energy to cycle. Standard steel loads are often too light to fully compress the inertia spring, turning your semi-auto into a bolt action. Boss fixes this with physics. Because their copper-plated bismuth is denser than lead, they can pack a heavier payload into a smaller shell. This generates a sharp, punishing recoil impulse that wakes up even the stiffest action. When you pull the trigger, it does not just push, and it snaps back with the authority of a mule kick, ensuring that bolt flies all the way rearward. So, what is the mission profile for this load? This is the ultimate choice for the Upland hunter, or the dry field hunter. If you are walking corn stubble for mallards, or chasing pheasants with a lightweight 20 gauge, this is the best ammo money can buy. It gives you the lethality of a 12 gauge in a package that is easy to carry all day. But here is the deal breaker, and it is a nasty one. These shells have a reputation for being allergic to water, while the big manufacturers heat seal their crimps. Users have reported that Boss shells can soak up moisture if you leave them in the bottom of a wet boat. If that powder gets damp, you get a bloop instead of a bang. You are paying a premium price for performance. But if you cannot keep your ammo dry, you might as well be throwing rocks. Moving on to number 4, we have the tank of the industry, the Winchester Drylok Super Steel. Look, most hunters treat their ammo like precious jewels, keeping it in waterproof boxes. But let's talk about the real world. If you hunt from a layout boat that is taking on water, or if you are tripping over submerged logs in flooded timber, your gear is going to get wet. Standard crimps leak. That is a fact. But Winchester built this shell to be submerged. Under the hood, it features a patented 2-piece double seal wad system. This is a mechanical gasket that locks the water out. They even lacquer the primer and heat seal the crimps. So, what is the mission profile? This is the load for the extreme condition hunter. If you are the guy breaking ice with the hull of your boat, or if you wade so deep that your shell belt drags in the water, this is your insurance policy. It guarantees ignition when everything else fails. But here is the reality check. Ballistically, it is a dinosaur. It uses standard round steel shot. It does not have the flight control wads or the high-density bismuth of the top-tier loads. It sheds velocity quickly, and at 40 yards, the pattern opens up faster than a cheap umbrella. You are trading long-range lethality for the absolute certainty that the gun will go off. Stepping up the game to number 3, we have the undisputed king of inertia, the Kent Fasteel 2.0. If you are running one of those Benelli SBE3s or a Franchi Affinity we talked about, you know the truth. They thrive on abuse, but they starve on light loads. To compress that massive inertia spring reliably, you need raw kinetic energy. Kent pushes this load at a blistering 15 to 60 feet per second. Mechanically, that high-velocity impulse slams the bolt carrier rearward with enough force to overcome a stiff spring. Freezing temperatures, and all the unburnt powder in your receiver. They also added nickel-plated heads to stop corrosion. So, what is the mission profile? This is specialized fuel for the inertia gun operator. If you shoot a kinetic-driven shotgun in temperatures below freezing, this speed is what keeps your gun cycling. It provides the mechanical shove that slower loads just cannot deliver. But here is the reality check. Physics has a price. When you push steel that fast, the recoil is snappy. It does not push you. It cracks against your shoulder like a whip. Also, speed kills patterns. At 15 to 60, standard factory chokes often struggle to hold the shot column together, blowing your pattern into a donut shape at distance. Getting closer to the crown, we have the load that reinvented itself, the Federal Black Cloud FS. The old Black Cloud had a nasty reputation for being dirty and cracking barrels, but Federal fixed it with the Flight Control Flex Wad. This rear-braking stabilizer is made from a pliable polymer that seals gas perfectly, ensuring every ounce of pressure is used to cycle your action. They paired it with the catalyst primer for a burn that is cleaner than hospital linen. So, what is the mission profile? This is for the long-range pass shooter. If you are taking shots at 40 or 50 yards on passing geese, that flight control wad holds the pattern together longer than anything else on this list. It delivers a dense wall of shot where standard wads fail. But here is the deal breaker. That wad works almost too well. Inside 20 yards, this technology holds the shot column together like a solid slug. If you use this for decoying birds in tight timber, you are either going to miss completely, or you are going to turn that duck into hamburger meat. It is unforgiving at close range. And finally, sitting at the top of the food chain, we have the boring, unsexy, undeniable king of reliability, the Federal Premium Speed-Shok. You see the plain blue box and you think budget ammo. But here is the secret. The magic happens inside the catalyst primer. Traditional primers use lead styphnate, which spits out hot solid particles that gunk up your piston. Federal replaced that with a lead-free formulation that creates a hotter, cleaner flame front. I have run 500 rounds of this stuff through a Beretta A400 without cleaning it, and the gas piston still looked like it came out of the box. So, what is the mission profile? This is the daily driver for the high-volume gas gun shooter. If you shoot cases of ammo a season and you hate cleaning your gun, this is the only choice. Why, it keeps the gas ports open and the piston moving freely, week after week. But here is the deal breaker. It is vanilla. There is no tungsten. There is no bismuth. It is just high-quality round steel shot. Beyond 40 yards, the pattern density falls off a cliff compared to the premium loads. You are not buying magic ballistics. You are buying the guarantee that your gun will cycle every single time you pull the trigger. Here is the bottom line. A shotgun that does not cycle is just a heavy walking stick. You have to match the fuel to the mission. If you hunt upland fields with a sub-gauge, you buy the Boss. If you are breaking ice in a layout boat, you trust the Winchester Drylok. If you need to wake up a frozen Benelli, you grab the Kent Fasteel. And if you want to shoot all season without cleaning your gas gun, you buy the Federal Speed-Shok. Stop obsessing over pattern density if your gun will not even feed the second shell. Train hard, stay safe, and I will see you downrange.